disappointing. But what is the point in signing up for drug testing if when you fail, everyone just goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just let him fight." You know.
Yeah.
So and the argument of, well, it's all right with UKAD is totally irrelevant. You've signed drug testing with VADA, the best testing agency, in my opinion, in the sport.
On TalkSport, it was something to do with late August. Is there any truth in that?
You've seen all the statements. I mean, there's been a multitude of agencies used to test for this fight, which both guys have signed up to. Obviously, UKAD, the British Boxing Board of Control's testing agency, have also tested multiple times in the build-up to this fight. They've all been negative. There was an adverse finding in a VADA test that both teams were made aware of. The levels, the blood tests, everything were analysed by both teams, including, of course, Wasserman and Team Eubank. They were happy to proceed. Right now, you've seen a statement from the board to say we're not happy at the moment, and obviously there's a conversation going on with the legal teams around whether the fight will take place. Conor Benny's not suspended. There's been no doping violation. He's clear to fight by the British Boxing Board of Control, and we'll see what happens over the next few hours.
A lot of speculation now, people saying that similar to what they did in David Hayes' previous fight, that maybe Luxembourg border control or a German border control needed to get this fight over line potentially. Is that something that you guys have spoken about?
Look, we could go and use another commission, no problem. We want the British Boxing Board of Control to be comfortable with the decision, but they need to also be responsive and say, you know, Conor Benny's not suspended. If a very similar situation to Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know if you remember that situation where he had an adverse finding in his VADA test. The British Boxing Board of Control were made aware and they did not suspend Billy Joe Saunders because they do not acknowledge VADA testing. That is testing that we implemented with the fighters. So the board cannot and haven't suspended Conor Benn. In that instance, he's clear to fight on Saturday.
It's a Triple B, man, getting bored about all this stuff. But yeah, that first video didn't age very well, did it, Edda? Little Edda, you know, little Edda. Now you've seen the tough side of boxing, you know, when Gay J is doing well. Yeah, you got a few other fighters, and you know you're seeing a future where you've got like several Billies to your name in the bank. Yeah, it's going a bit bad, isn't it, Edda? Yeah, I'm not even gonna dissect those last two videos. You can see what it's about. Hypocrisy as usual, and that's boxing. And more soap opera nonsense. Again and again and again. Problems, contracts, fight pullouts. You know, we've lost the Huey Fury, Michael Hunter super fight just recently. You know, for whatever reason. You know, who knows? I covered that in another video. Right? And now we've got the Ben fight, which is in Ben v. Eubank Jr. in jeopardy. You know, I mean... Man, it's like 50% of fights getting cancelled, especially in the UK. You know, what's going on here? I mean, well, we know what's going on. This is nonsense. And, you know, as a boxing fan, all we get is rumours, like I said, news about contracts. You know, just, I want to see some fights. And some good fights, not some whack fights. You know, this could have at least been an interesting fight. At least be some buzz around it, you know, whatever. However, like, meaningless it is, really, you know. There's enough there to get excited about anyway. You know, so they're saying basically, you know, Hearn is admitting, oh, we've all known about the failed drug tests since August. He didn't say when in August, but, you know, we're like, what are we now, like? October the 5th? And they, you know, and I think it got made news on the 4th of October, yesterday, by the Daily Mail and the Sports Mail. So, I mean, it's just, they've known since August, right? And that means everyone's known. Hearn, Wasserman, Eubank, Conor Benn, the fathers, everybody has known who's close to the promotion. Probably the British board as well. No, certainly the British board. Nothing happened. You know what? They were hoping, oh, look, man, I don't know, man, we can still do the fight with this. Everyone get paid, yeah? Even the boxing board had been in on this. Yeah, well, nothing's been announced. We don't know anything yet. It's quite a complex situation about testing. They're not the official testers. Yeah, let's just kind of push it through. But no, someone grasped. I don't know where, who, what. You know, all these people are part of the same, you know, they're under the same sort of elitist umbrella, really. So I'm wondering why it got announced. Because, you know, the Daily Mail is just another puff paper which just, you know, gets all its news from Reuters and Associated Press and just reskins it for its alleged middle-class, conservative readers. But the truth is they push the same stuff over and over again. They're just a slightly different way, slightly different manner. And they're all bought. They're all learned. There's no independent news, man. It's an embarrassment. Well, there is, but not in the press, in the traditional press. It's all got to be on smaller sites, or you can pick up on some social media if it hasn't been zapped. But yeah, So why is this happening? I don't know, man. Who's Conor upset? That's what I'm thinking. And one of me fans was saying that we all know that these guys are bought. So what has Conor Ben refused to do that's made him release this information, try and cancel the fight? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he's asked to push an agenda. He's like, I'm not comfortable with that. He goes, but sorry, mate, you bought into this. Yeah, but I'm a Christian. I don't want to say, no, sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. He bought into this. You knew what you were buying into. We need you to say this or do this. I'm guessing a bit. Or maybe they wanted him to talk about some disgusting private ritual, which involved buggeration or something like that. I don't know, brown showers, whatnot. But there's something going on, right? Will the fight go ahead still? I don't know, maybe. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities, I said in my previous video. But it's at the very least, it's a warning, Ben. You better start to, follow the agenda and do what you're told, man. Bad things are happening to you, blood. We could easily stop this fight. And it's funny the way that this test, everything's been known since August, as I said. Maybe they thought, we'll just keep stum about it, and we'll push it through and then we'll deal with that later because we want everyone to get paid, especially Hearn wants to get paid. He's not doing well with the Gay J. You haven't invested apparently 100 mil a year for Gay J to be a brand ambassador for DAZN after being, slapped about by Usyk twice. I mean, come on, man. The DAZN things, I can't believe it's going to carry on, man. It's just impossible. Impossible that it can carry on. It's lost billions, yeah. And maybe the fact it's been known since August explains why English Eubank, as he occasionally liked to call himself, or he seems to have gone past that stage, but English Eubank, yeah, Junior's father wanted to didn't want much to do with the fight because he's thinking this guy's juiced off his nuts. Eubank's almost killed someone. Well, he has killed someone. Yeah, with his truck. Didn't he kill someone with his truck? But I mean, he also damaged someone with his fireworks. And he also almost, obviously Michael Watson incident, badly hurt him. Yeah, and Chris Eubank Jr.'s, ended, was it Nick Blackwell's career? Put him in hospital. So and they've lost one son already. Seb. Whatever the true reality of what happens, I think maybe English was a bit worried about his other son. And as I said, it's just another thing. Just keep the public blind. They won't know. They'll pay for the fights, and we'll see how to deal with it afterwards. Now it's all come out. Like I said, I don't know for what or why. I can't just renew this nonsense. It's more opera and agenda. I mean, I'm so tired of this nonsense. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I hope the fight will happen because I don't care if it disgraces boxing. Boxing's the crack hole of the sporting world, the entertainment world. It always has been. It's disgusting. Boxing, it's a disgrace to boxing. Boxing has been a disgrace from the beginning, man. I mean, if you think about it, it's a sport where two people beat themselves to a pulp, all right? And there's been gangsters involved from the beginning, thrown fights involved from the beginning. Yeah, Jack Dempsey punched up Jess Willard with a huge bolt, yeah, in his glove. And if you think, that's a myth, Triple B, I advise you go and look at the video. Now, Jack Dempsey and his manager put a huge bet on in the first round, okay? And watch how, he's absolutely battered Willard's face. It was all mashed up and swollen. And Willard said, he brought out later a bolt. He said, look, this is what they used. They put it in the bolt. That doesn't necessarily make it true. And it might not have been that bolt. You might have just got another one to show. But, how could you be so... I mean, it's a weird accusation to make. It's not like, you'd think there must be some substance for a guy to just claim something so random. Anyway, for me, yeah, you look at that fight. Watch how Jack Dempsey hits Willard in the first round. Again and again and again. With what? The side of his glove. There's no power in the side of the glove. He'd be hitting with the knuckles. I've never seen him hit anyone like that, or anyone other boxers when someone's hitting with the side of the glove where the thumb is, yeah, huh? You know, and a bunch of that's a rubbish shot. It's an arm shot as well, okay. And why would he have done that? Because he had a great big bolt in his hand, okay. That's what. So boxing's always been disgusting, corrupt. You know, the list and throwing the fight against Ali and on and on and on and on. It's always been dirty, dirty, dirty. So, you know, all this like, oh, it's a disgrace to boxing, this fight happens. It's just embarrassment to say that. The boxing board, of course, the private company that has over £1 million in assets and money, cash money in the bank. Obviously, they've got to protect themselves because they're in a precarious position, man. People seem to forget they're not FIFA or whatnot, which is corrupt as well, but they're a limited company, man. They've got to watch how they act, even though they give it the, you know, yeah, with the big one, but, you know, they're like, well, this is a bit difficult. Now, if you let this happen, you know, what they'll say the British Boxing Board let some drugged up fighter. No one's interested in the public about the little this and that. Oh, they're not the official testers and this and that. They'll just remember drug, cheat, Ben was allowed to fight by the board, control Eubanks. And if Eubanks get hurt badly, you know, I don't even mean put in a coma if he gets knocked out brutally or something. People will be like, hang on, the British board let a juiced up guy. So they don't want it. They want the fight to happen, yeah? Because they let it happen, huh? Yeah, and they knew about this August test thing, but they obviously conveniently thought that no one would hear about it. But there were some grassings. So now they have to disassociate themselves from it, to pretend that they're clean, and then they gutted as well because all the money that they would lose from the promotion, yeah, they don't want to cancel no fight like this. So we'll see what happens. I hope it happens, as I said, because I need to watch some decent boxing, yeah, and we could do like a nice Triple B show on it, maybe a live, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm bored. I'm going to bowls. I'm going to do a food channel. I'm going to do a UFC channel. I mean, boxing, man, continues to disappoint. And boxing is the only sport I'm interested in, really. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I've got a couple more videos, including slating Roreke Hatton. Yeah, probably have to do another one on Spencer Fearon, who shut up for 2 days. Yeah, but he's come back. One chai. He's going to get it. Another one, he just can't keep his mouth shut. Because you know the prefrontal cortex, right, in the brain, right? So that's the part of the front of the brain that enables us to think ahead, to control our emotions, to plan, yeah? Yeah? And it controls the animal part of the brain, right? And people who have sloped foreheads, you know, like Peanut Head, Spencer Fearon, what it is, the prefrontal cortex is underdeveloped, yeah? And you can see that by the shape of the skull. And what that means is that these people with this kind of skull find it a lot harder to regulate their behavior, to think of the future and think, gee, you know what? Maybe it's not such good if I raise my profile by obviously, you know, by changing my name and then pretending to be someone else and everyone knows it's me, and all that happens is I get slated and all the things, the wrong ones I've done. Maybe I should keep my head down for a bit. But of course, Spencer's with his underdeveloped prefrontal lobe doesn't think about that. He goes, I gotta get this guy. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, innit? I'm coming for you. I'm terrified, Spence. I'm coming for you, innit? And keeps on putting up stupid posts like, you funny, innit? Yeah, you whack, innit? You know, just moronic stuff like that. I mean, you're this fool, man. I'm beginning to think his IQ might be lower than 75, you know, and like 65. You know, real moron. Anyway, enough about that guy. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I just hope the fight happens, just because I want to watch a fight. You know what I'm saying? Peace.